So I'm going to do a short video here, just a little simple explanation, something very simple. You know, everyone likes Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee's like, ah, just like that. Ah, he's got those hands, you know. Everyone's not liberated like a lot of people. I think my camera's a little smudge up there. But I can tell because it's a brand new fucking phone. And, you know, whatever. Point is basically when we're doing these things, you know, what you're understanding from your normal block, and attack, defense, and understanding a little bit more difference where you see more into Bruce Lee and Wing Chun is because Bruce Lee trained differently into Wing Chun. A lot of people train differently into Wing Chun everywhere. That's normal. Just like me and what I do. I train differently. Hell, I even created my own fucking hands from Con Sao and Gon Sao and Lon Sao and Fox Sao. So I had a lot of good structures that come about even in my lap Sao, understanding that, you know, understanding my Chi Sao. And it just made more sense when I got into a real fight or practiced it with someone else that it actually worked. My cross hands worked. Anyways, excuse the movie in the background. What we're talking about here is just understanding a block this way, but a strike this way. So if I was to block and strike this way, or block and strike this way, what I'm doing basically is in the Bruce Lee style striking fighting system, basically JKD Wing Chun, as they call it. It's not just called JKD, it's called JKD Wing Chun because it's Bruce Lee's Wing Chun. It's not Yip Man's Wing Chun. It's not Master Wong's Wing Chun. It's not Jason this or Jeffrey that or Mr. Cook that or whatever person fucking Wing Chun. It's his Wing Chun. So when we're teaching his type of Wing Chun that came about through Wing Chun, because there's a lot of things that people didn't get pictures, videos, explanation, even more than you pay money to learn, that you can and cannot do in Wing Chun that can be possible, is possible. So normally when people tell you block and strike, that's a normal situation in Wing Chun. But if they only know Wing Chun, and they start watching your videos and they think, oh, you can't do that. You can't just come over. You just can't come over and do that. But Bruce Lee does it. Bruce Lee blocks this way and strikes this way. Samuel Kwook, a Grand Master of Wing Chun. Not that I'm very friends with any of these people either. Excuse my language here. Don't think I'm fucking Bruce Lee Yip Man. Trust me, I've had my experience with a lot of these different people. And they're not who you think they are. Trust me. They're a bunch of fucking wannabes. Excuse my fucking issues here, because I've gone through a little system to become whatever I was going to become for whatever I thought that was expected, a part of their Wing Chun. So I learned Wing Chun regardless of their shit, because they sold the shit on DVD and books and had other people teach it too. So it did me a lot of fucking good too, to read, watch movies, watch YouTube, educate myself on the internet as much as I could about fucking Wing Chun and JKD. So fuck those people. But anyways, until they get the balls to come around, they don't understand what we're talking about. Got a lot of bunch of dumbasses out there, liberals that just don't give a shit for it. But you know, they can't argue with it. They can sit there and say all day that this is not a Bruce Lee strike. This is a Bruce Lee strike. It's more outwards. More, you're leaning your head outwards. And as you lean your head outwards, you're using more of your body to twist into your shoulders as you would these shoulders to strike in this way. Instead, you have a whole nother application, explanation coming about once you do this. So once you do things like this, and what you're going to understand, every time you do this, it's always under the arm. The palm, the striking system of this little system here, is always under the arm, because I'm going to block here, I'm going to block there. But if I try to block up here, I might end up in cross hands, Con Sao. But yeah, it's not always going to work out the way you think it is unless you know the striking system. But then again, you got the head part too. Most people see the idea on the bottom as that part too. So if I was to strike the head, block with this hand, I would have to come above. So this is the time you start understanding, well, alright, you just explained a lot of stuff, but what does that mean that I had to go over it too? Right. So if I was to normally Wing Chun strike you, I can strike you either way, this way. From here, I can still work my hands outwards. From here, I can still come right back in and strike you from head to top. Of course, when we start thinking about the Bruce Lee style fighting, boom, coming in, basically striking on in there this way, from under to the rib area, your hands do switch up a little bit. And from this area, I would have to swing up more. So I would cover that area here. So when you do an inside striking system on the Bruce Lee style inside striking system to top to bottom, here goes your drills. Just letting you know this. That's a little thing I'm doing here just for the fucking fun of it. Anyways, your first step is on the outside. First step, outside. Punching on the outside. Next step is to the outside. So from outside, you're punching to the outside upwards. So your hands can maneuver from the inside to the outside system of punching and cross striking on your opponent. And when you do this from here, of course, you're going to have to cover this next side. From this next side, this hand becomes your blocking material, this becomes your striking material. Basically, you're coming here and striking this way for the drill, then you're striking this way for the drill. And you're going to continue repeating this direction over and over. From here, of course, this becomes your striking hand. You're here, you're here. From here, of course, you're going to cover, of course, this side. Strike with this side. So, boom, boom. It is a little difficult, trust me. Coming over, boom, boom. Coming over, of course, boom, boom. And this is going to be a repetitive drill. So you take that step by step and you have a whole other fucking system of Wing Chun done in an opposite way, but a crosshand way. Alright, I'm out of here, guys. Adios.